Welcome to another. So first of all, what do you need? Well, there's a few bits and pieces. First of all, a couple of big jars. These are probably about, I would say, 2 or 3 litre jars. They're the type that come with the rubber lids and the sort of clip-on tops. We'll need both of these because one is for the pure alcohol that is used to soak the lemon rind, and the other one is then used for the sugar water, and you decant one into the other. Second, bottles. So once the finished article is ready, you want to bottle it up. This is about a 1 litre bottle. It's, again, one of those with a little wire contraption cap that you can reseal. And they're handy because you can open them and close them and sort of use them on an ongoing basis, put them in the freezer, etc. I'm going to get some smaller ones as well so we can make smaller sort of gift versions of it. Bag of sugar. This is a 1 kilogram bag. It's been partially used, but we'll need 250 grams of sugar for this recipe. I'll list all of these ingredients below. And then this is probably the hardest thing to get. This is 96% alcohol, basically pure alcohol. 96%, I understand, is the highest it will go. We drove across the border from where we are now. We're in the southeast of France. Drove across the border to Italy, which is about an hour away, and got it there. There are recipes also that you can make with vodka, using vodka. Obviously, the ratios, because the alcohol content is different, the ratios between the water and the vodka in that case are different. But this is the traditional recipe. This is the recipe that will make a limoncello that's that opaque colour. You can't see through it, whereas if you do it with vodka, it tends to be the sort of translucent type. So slightly clearer liquid. I'm going to make them in the traditional way. And then the final ingredient, of course, is lemons. So let's go and get some lemons. Okay, here next to my lemon tree, the recipe calls for a load of lemon rinds. Actually, it's the outside of the lemon that you use, so make sure you preserve those innards for something else like lemonade. That'd be a different video, different recipe. But between 10 sort of medium to large size lemons or 20 smaller lemons is a good ratio to have. This is a lemon tree in our property. So they're all completely organic. There's no chemicals on them, and they work the best. But make sure the lemons are washed once you take them off the tree before you peel. Okay, lemons picked. They're a decent size, a bit of a mix. So I've got 14 in this case. I think that'll be fine, and just beautifully fragrant, wonderful, fresh, organic lemons. Okay, got my lemons. Next thing is to wash them just in cold water. Give them a little wipe, just like that. Should be enough just to get any sort of bugs or dust and that sort of thing off them, so the rind is nice and clean. Lemons washed. I've got my bowl, I've got my peeler, and now it's time to take the rind off and decant it into this bowl for the meanwhile. Now, while doing this, try and just get the yellow bit on the outside. The white, the fleshy bit, is a little bit bitter. So if you just pick up the yellow bit on the outside, that's easier or better, more flavourful. I don't know if you can see that. It's an absolutely wonderfully fragrant exercise that's taking the rind off. Okay, lemons peeled. Beautiful rind here. The fragrance is just amazing. And as you can see, I pick up one of these things and try and show you. It's more or less just the yellowy bit, not the white bit from the outside. But that's all ready to go and get distilled inside the alcohol. Okay, next I'm going to put the lemon rind into our jar. There we go. Now, remember, I have 14 lemons, and as a rule of thumb, 250 mils of alcohol per 4 lemons. I need sort of 3 and a bit times that size. Obviously, the more lemon rind as a ratio to the alcohol, the more pungent the lemon flavour. So for that amount, 14 lemons, I'm going to use 750 mils of my 96% alcohol. Won't spill too much on the way, and top that up a little bit. I had measured this out before. Okay, so that should be about right from a ratio perspective. Close the lid. Give it a little swirl, and I'm going to leave that for at least 3 days. Obviously, the longer you leave it, the more flavour it will sort of infuse in the liquid. Now, here's one that's been distilling now. I guess that's the right word, for more than 4 days. I think almost a week. This one had a few more lemons in it, so the level is a little bit higher. And if I hold this close, you can see that lovely yellowy liquid in there, all ready to get combined with the sugar water, which we'll make now.
Okay, let's talk about ratios. So for the pure alcohol version of limoncello that I'm using, the ratio of alcohol infused with the lemon rind to water is 1:3. So for 250 mils of alcohol, you need 750 mils of water. Now the batch that I'm doing is a multiple of that. I've got 1.4 litres, I think, of alcohol. So I've calculated that to need 4.2 litres of water, which I've got here. And the water now needs to get sugar. So again, the ratios are important there. The ratio of sugar to alcohol is, again, to water is 1:3. So 250 milligrams of sugar for every 750 millilitres of water. So I've got my sugar sitting here, ready to go. I need 1.4 kilos of sugar for my mixture here. But just remember those ratios. Once again, the alcohol to water, 1:3, 250 equals 750 millilitres, and sugar to water, 1:3, 250 milligrams to every 750 millilitres. All right, so those are the ratios. Now, there's a couple of ways of blending in the sugar. One is just to shake it, and then you need to strain it through a muslin or something similar. What I'm going to do is I'm going to heat it. I'm going to make some sugar syrup. So I've got my water in a pot here. I'm going to gently bring it up to the boil, and I'm going to add my sugar to it. So that'll fully dissolve it, and I won't need the strainer. Eventually I'm going to put the mixed limoncello into these jars. But first, to mix it, just to keep things simple, I'm going to use a big ice bucket, which has got plenty of capacity, and start by decanting my sugar water, which I've measured and is completely clear, so there's no traces of sugar grains there anymore. And then my limoncello, concentrated limoncello mixture here, which has got a nice yellow tinge to it. Obviously we don't want the rinds in there, so I will use my strainer for that. And indeed, it has immediately gone cloudy, which is the telltale sign of limoncello made in the traditional way. I'll give it a stir. So beautiful lemony flavour and fragrance, and that is ready to go into either bottles or jars. I think I'll put them in the jar for now. I'm tempted to try some, but it's still a little bit warm. So that good warm limoncello is quite the answer. There we go, 6 litres of limoncello. So plenty for some after dinner aperitifs or digestives, I should say. And we're all set for the summer.